Welcome to our Sunday school lesson today. This for the boys and girls in our Hawthorne Gospel Church, and anyone who's watching on our virtual lesson. Boys and girls, I want you to know that we're talking about look at me. God made our bodies to serve Him, and that's what we're talking about today. We're going to start with our Bible verse, which is Psalm 100, verse 3. We've had it several weeks. The Lord is God. It is He who made us. Psalm 100, verse 3. We're talking all about God who made us. And boys and girls, in just the last week or so, we went back to the story of creation in Genesis, which is the beginning of our Bible. It's the first book in the Old Testament. And there God tells us how He made our world. And we left off with God. He made the animals, and then God made people. He made Adam and Eve, and we even talked about their sons Cain and Abel, and that God made families. But you know, Adam and Eve were different than any of the animals. Their bodies were very unique, and we have those very same bodies today. Bodies to serve God and honor Him and worship Him. And we're going to talk about God and how He made our bodies. So, I have my Bible in front of me, and I have turned to Psalm 139. Today we're going to talk a lot about Psalm 139. King David wrote this psalm to show God's mighty power. And I'm going to read a few verses in each section. There's 24 verses and there's 4 parts with 6 verses in each. I'm just going to read a few verses from my Bible. So in the first section, I'm going to read verses 1 and 2 of Psalm 139. And you just listen. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. God, His knowledge of us is beyond anything we can understand, and He loves us. If I skip down to verse 10, in the next section, it says, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. No matter where we go, no matter what we do, we can't hide from God in all of creation. He is there, but He also loves us and He stays with us and He'll guide us. If you go down to verses 13 to 18, I'm going to read all 6 of these verses, and I just want you to listen because God knows us better than anybody, better than our moms and dads. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I am still with you. Boys and girls, God knows us better than anybody else, and He saw us before we were even born. And He sees us each day, and He loves us, and He wants us to know Him better. So the last 2 verses I'm going to read are the last 2 verses of Psalm 139. Verses 23 and 24. And King David is asking God to continue to examine his heart and keep him true to God. So these verses say, search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Boys and girls, I hope today your moms and dads, whoever's might be watching with you, will go back and read all of Psalm 139 to themselves. So boys and girls, here's a picture of our bodies, and it's a little boy. You can pretend it's a boy. And boys and girls, we're going to start at our head. God gave us our head with our eyes and our nose and our mouth and our ears. Can we point to our eyes and our nose and our mouth and our ears? Can we do it again? Our eyes and our nose and our mouth and our ears. God gave us our shoulders and our elbows and our hands. He gave us our chest and our tummies and our bottoms, our elbows, almost down our heels and our toes. And with all of these things starting on our head, we think, we see, we taste, we sit, we walk, and we move. There's so many things your wonderful body can do. And as our bodies grow and change, we can do different things. And as your body gets bigger, you will be doing different things. So, remember that God created us. He has a purpose for us. He loves us and He wants to know us better. And boys and girls, we can pray, we can sing, we can serve, worship, and honor God with our bodies. Bye till next week.